What is going on YouTube? Welcome back to JD's Nerdverse. Let the games begin. We're doing a playthrough today of Magmar, the Spitfire Pokemon. And go ahead and watch this first battle. I named him Swagmar because he has some swag to him. And I named our rival. I don't remember our rival's name. We're going to see it here in a second. I don't remember. I think it was Deluser. It's Deluser. Yeah, Deluser. Okay. So we beat our rival's Pokemon pretty handily. Water type, Squirtle. That's what we chose, obviously. So let's go ahead and go over the stats of this Pokemon. We'll dive into this Pokemon. All the bug type trainers in Bug Forest are pretty easy. We have 65 HP to start the game with, 95 attack, 57 defense, 85 special, and 93 speed. So pretty good stats across the board. HP is 65. It's kind of a trend with the last like 5 Pokemon I've had, and even the next one is Pinsir. It's also 65. Attack stat is 95, which is pretty good because we're going to do a decent amount of damage. We get a lot of physical damaging moves early, and we don't get a lot of special moves until later. 57 defense, so our defense is pretty decent. And then we also have 85 special, so that's our attack and our defense for special. So pretty good, and then our speed is 93, so 93 is not the fastest Pokemon ever, but it's very good. And early we just took battles as they came. As you've seen some of the fights here, we did not discriminate between battles. We didn't skip battles. It's just good experience to get. And by getting this, just taking those battles as they come, the wild trainers and the bug trainers, we get into our second rival fight. The second rival fight comes out with a Pidgey and a Squirtle. And we only have one move early, and that's Ember. So the way I planned it is we had only 2 Embers left, and we used Struggle to beat Squirtle, because Ember's not going to do much to Squirtle at all. So we beat our second rival pretty handily, and we move on to Brock's Gym. And we're fighting the Million Light Years trainer. So Ember will be a 3-shot with Diglett. We take a little bit of damage from Diglett, but we level up to level 12, which is good. And we do an Ember, we get its Sand Attack, but we knock it out beforehand. So Rock type and Ground type Pokemon don't have great special, which is why we don't have to over level too much to beat Brock. Brock has low special because he is a ground type trainer. So at level 12, we take an attempt at Brock. So the goal here is you want to get through Brock with as much health as possible. So that way you can go into the Onix fight with, now here's the problem with Onix. He just initiated Bide. Bide, what it does is you deal damage and it'll deal that damage back double. So he just one-shot us because it was a 3-hit. It was 3 shots, and I need 1 more hit to hit him, but it knocks us out in 1 hit. So Bide sucks. Whatever damage you do to him, he'll do you back double. Now sometimes it's a 2-hit Bide, sometimes it's a 3-hit Bide, so you're kind of rolling the dice. So we still get through Geodude pretty handily while he's trying to set up his defense curl. Now that's good because the first turn there he went for Screech, and we didn't do nearly as much damage this time, so he didn't one-shot us. So we beat Brock Wakanda forever. And we beat Brock pretty handily, and we move on. Now, you're going to see a lot of battles here as you watch this. I don't skip any battles here or in Mount Moon, and you'll know why a little bit later. But here is our TM moveset that we get for this Pokemon. We start off with Ember. Ember is a decent move. It's 40 base power, but it's 60 with our stat because we are Fire type. It is 100% accurate, has good power points, so it's a great move. It's the only move we have that we get via level up, and we're probably not going to use much other moves via level up other than Fire Punch and Flamethrower. Leer, it's kind of late in the game to get Leer. Leer helps early. It would help great with Brock. We can just use Bide and counter all the things that Bide does by just using Leer, and it lowers his defense, and then we initiate attack again. It just does a lot more damage to him. So Leer, I'll go explain it. Leer drops the defense of an opposition. Confuse Ray confuses the Pokemon. It is 100% accurate. But I get so late in the game that I need type coverage rather than, strategies like confusion. This Pokemon's too good for that. Some Pokemon need confusion strategies, like Ghastly needed it because it didn't have a lot of variety or powerful moves in general. And then we also get Smokescreen. We get Fire Punch, which is this Pokemon's like signature move. Fire Punch is 75 base power, 100% accurate. With our stab, it's looking at like 113 base power roughly. Very powerful, very good move. We get that. That'll replace Ember for sure. It's way more powerful than Ember. And then we get Smokescreen, which is like, kind of like Sand Attack, 100% accurate. And Smog is a garbage move to get late. I don't know why we get it at level 52. It's garbage. This is a Pokemon that you get later in the game, so I've explained this before. So all of its moves are skewed towards later in the game, so that you can experience the level up and get moves experience with this Pokemon. It was not designed for playthroughs like this. That's why I get the moves so late. And then level 55, we get the most reliable fire move, with also the best possible damage dealing. Flamethrower, it's 95 base power, 100% accurate. With our stab, it's looking at like 140. Is that 148 base power? 140? I don't know. But it does a lot of damage. And it's very powerful. So then we have our TM moveset. So our TM moveset, I'm just going to touch on the ones that are the most important right now. So we're in Mount Moon. We're about to get the first one, which is Mega Punch. Mega Punch is an 80 base power, 85% accurate, normal move, but it will work very well with our attack stat. Okay? So that's the move we can get early. So we'll have Ember and Mega Punch. So we got a special move, and we got a physical damaging move. Okay, Mega Kick and Toxic are not going to be used in this playthrough. I don't think I've ever actually consistently used Toxic, or I've ever used Mega Kick. So I never used them anyway. Body Slam is a replacement move for Mega Punch. It is only 5 more power, but it's 100% accurate. So that's the benefit of Body Slam. And eventually we're gonna, it's gonna work. This works very well with our attack stat, just like Mega Punch, just way more accurate and way more reliable. Double Edge and Hyper Beam and Takedown are all 3 moves we can use. We're not going to use any 3 of those. We don't need Hyper Beam in this playthrough. If we didn't have access to another move that I'm going to go over in a minute, we probably would, just to have something a little more powerful. And yeah, so none of those 3 are going to be used. Hyper Beam is very powerful, but it's just not a move I don't want to waste the time to get the move and just overpower this Pokemon. I didn't do that with Electabuzz, and these guys kind of get compared a little bit, so not fair. Submission and counter we're not going to use, but Seismic Toss will be used. It is a set damage move where it does 1 damage for every level you have, so that'll come in handy with this Pokemon. It'll help with Misty, it'll help with some other things in the game. Rage would be great early, but with our attack stat, but we don't get it early. You get it so late in the game, it's kind of worthless. Now here's another move we get on the right side. Psychic. Psychic is a 90 base power, 100% accurate Psychic move, and it does special damage. It's a very good move. I love this move, and the fact that this Pokemon can get it, it's awesome. Because it gives us a lot of type coverage. A lot of type coverage with this Pokemon. Teleport, we're not going to use. Mimic, we will use later if need be. We'll use that to help us with the badge boost glitch. That's something this Pokemon does not get. Double Team we cannot use. Bide will be used early. It usually helps catch other Pokemon. And our moveset went away a little faster than I anticipated. Okay. We don't really use much else other than like Fire Blast. So Fire Blast is the last move we use. 120 base power, 85% accurate. It's very powerful, just the accuracy is kind of garbage. It's got the accuracy of Mega Punch, but it's got the power of 180 base power. It's a very powerful move. So we don't have to worry too much about a lot of moves, but those are the moves we're going to use in this playthrough. Those are the ones that are important. And we're fighting in Misty's gym right now, and we're just trying to get some experience. We're not going to fight Misty yet. We're a Fire-type Pokemon. All we have is Mega Punch. We possibly could beat her, I guess, with a little bit of luck, but I'm not going to run that risk. Now, so here's something I will let everyone know. So I said earlier that we're just going to fight every battle that comes across us. Well, we'll go over that in a minute, because we're about to fight our rival. So we're going to get the rare candy. Very good. We're going to go right over here. We're going to save. And while we're saving, I'm going to take a swig of my drink. And Swagmar is facing our 3rd rival. Our 3rd rival comes out with 4 Pokemon. Pidgeotto is usually actually its best Pokemon. It does the best attack. It also sand attacks, so the rest of the battle can be really bad. But we one-shot everything in here except for the Squirtle. And we miss. Fun. But we get the knockout. And now that now we got Nugget Bridge, I'll go explain some things with this Pokemon. So this Pokemon is Fire type. If you know Fire types, one, Misty is going to be a struggle, but also there are some things in the Elite Four that we're going to have to come across. If you've ever watched a Pokemon video before, Gen 1, you know that there's going to be Lorelei has a lot of water/ice Pokemon that have water moves. Okay, you're also going to come across. We also have to worry about our rival having Hydro Pump with Blastoise, so that's going to happen eventually as well. But the third one, the one that's probably the most pain in the butt one, is the Gyarados from Lance. So that's some struggles we have earlier. So when it comes to playing Pokemon, you sometimes have the luxury of seeing playthroughs done by other people, but either just in the past, so you know a little bit about where they struggled. but also you can also have the benefit of like someone posting one the same week you're making the video, and you can use that knowledge to your advantage. So for example, like probably about 2 years ago, I watched Scott's Thoughts Magmar versus Electabuzz, and so that one was Pokemon Yellow. So that's Pokemon Yellow is a little bit is significantly different than Pokemon Red and Blue. It's the same game in some ways, but in a lot of games it's not. It's a completely different game. A little bit better AI in the game, to be honest with you. So the reason why I'm mentioning that is I had the luxury of, which honestly it could have been the other way around, because I did Electabuzz and then J-Rose 11 did Electabuzz, and I got the luxury of watching J-Rose 11 try to beat this game with a Magmar. Now I'm not going to comment too much on his. You can go watch his video if you want. I recommend it. It's a good video. But he made some critical errors that I don't have to learn from. But I will say that I did look at the moveset long before I did the playthrough. I did the prediction before I watched J-Rose 11. So if you watch the prediction video, I did that long before I watched J-Rose 11 put out his video. But I have the benefit of knowing where we're going to struggle and kind of like what kind of level I need to be at to have any kind of success against like the Elite Four. So for example, Lance. The other four are very trivial battles, because there's ways you can mitigate everything in there. It's just hard to mitigate the fact that Gyarados is such a good Pokemon. He's such a good Pokemon. He's one of the best Pokemon in the game, and Lance comes out with him. It's not like he has another Pokemon you can set up on, which would be great, but you don't have that luxury. So I just want to bring up that fact that I am playing this after I've seen J-Rose 11 play. Now he doesn't. He plays different than me. I do a lot of preparation. He also like uses the in-game time, and I don't. I don't use the in-game time. I use my real time playing the game. I do pause for some things. For the most part, though, it's just straight up in-game time. So, and we're fighting this hiker here. Just go and keep watching. But I just want to explain that this is why I fought a couple extra battles. You're going to see a couple battles in general that I usually could skip over. But knowing what I know after watching this video, it's not something I need to do. This isn't optimized by any stretch. I definitely optimize it a lot more, so that we can cut out as much time as possible. There are still mistakes made in this, just because RNG and you have to fight the game as it comes. Just want to let you guys know that I do have to get more levels, because I know what's coming. If you've seen J-Rose 11's video, you know what's coming. I recommend you go watch it. It's going to be a good video. It's a good video in general. Like I said, he plays differently than me, which is, it's his thing. But I did get that luxury of seeing kind of like what not to do and what to do to make this successful. And I've already the playthrough had this stuff implemented. But I usually don't fight like this guy right here I'm fighting right now. I never fight that battle. I rarely ever fight the guy that's blocking Seismic Toss. But we kind of need Seismic Toss to get through some things in the game. So I had to get that. That all will make sense. But the extra battles, we can usually go minimum battles through this area, and we don't have to have extra battles. I also don't have to fight a lot of the gym leaders, trainers in the gyms. We usually don't need to do that. But I understand and I know where the struggle is going to happen. And I don't know, I paused it there. But I know where the struggle is going to happen, so I'm preparing for that. And that's just a little bit of optimization. It's not a lot. But I just want to let you guys know that I did have to fight a lot of extra battles in this. So you may see a couple extra battles. This is why the last few videos I've had it pretty on point. It's been around like 30-35 minutes. That's why this one's a little bit longer. So now we're facing Misty. Misty, the water type trainer, water gym leader, and her bikini. And she got a Pokemon Towel. I don't know if you know that. Mega Punch is a one-shot. I miss Mega Punch, so Bubble Beam, I'm like, oh great, I'm gonna get knocked two-shot here. Goes for attack, X defend, but Seismic Toss skips over those things, and we get the 3-shot. So very good. We move on to our fourth rival fight. Fourth rival fight comes out. We have Body Slam now, so Body Slam will be our bread and butter. One-hit knockout on the Pidgeotto, one-hit knockout on the Raticate. Kadabra will be a one-shot, and War Turtle will be a 2-shot. Bubble doesn't do squat to us. We beat him pretty good. And we move on to Lieutenant Surge. Lieutenant Surge, the Trash Man. And he's the electric type gym leader. Not going to do a whole lot to us. However, we did not heal before we went into this battle, so that's a critical error on my part. And you'll see why here in a second. So we two-shot the Electrode or Voltorb, we one-shot the Pikachu, and Thunderbolt knocks us the heck out in one shot. We are kind of a duck, so it would make sense if we were kind of weak to it. So we're going to heal up, and we're going to try this again. I think we would have tanked the attack if we were full health. We weren't full health going into that. I was trying to be quick. I was trying to rush a little bit. But we're going to try it again. One shot on the Voltorb, one shot on the Pikachu. Now we're going in the Raichu with full health, and he gets paralyzed anyway, so it doesn't matter. We beat Lieutenant Surge, and the Trash Man, and we move on. So this is an area of the game that, like I said, there's a couple minimal battles here we can go through. We're already at level 29, so we're doing pretty well. We have a decent variety of moves. We have Body Slam, Mega Punch, Ember, and Seismic Toss. So there's not a lot of type coverage there, but there is enough type coverage that we can get through this part of the game. So that was one trade-off that I had that he didn't. I mean, I already planned to add Seismic Toss, but when I watched JRose11's video, he didn't use Seismic Toss. I think he was trying to do minimum battles, or as few battles as possible. So he skipped over the part where you can grab Seismic Toss, and Seismic Toss is pretty important when it comes to trying to get through a Pokemon trainer I call him Boomer, the hiker, because he has 3 exploding Pokemon. But so that's like one thing different. I already plan on doing that anyway. That's something he avoided doing. So that's one example. He also didn't get Psychic until later. I'd already planned to get Psychic. That's why I do a prediction video. The prediction video forces me to increase my knowledge about the game before I go into the battle. So this is also part of the game where I like to give a shout out to other YouTubers, because there's not a lot here to comment on. A lot of things here, we're at a level where things here shouldn't be super difficult. There may be some Pokemon you come across, like right here, Cubone is going to do decent damage just because he's Cubone, and Bone Club is a good move. And then we don't have anything great for Slowpoke. So it's just about actually dealing some damage, and so it'll be a 3-shot. Confusion does do a lot to us, but yeah, it is what it is. So this is the part of the video I like to give shout outs to some other YouTubers. It's in my comment and in my description. I actually have a bunch of links to other YouTubers because I enjoy watching Pokemon so much. Like right now, before I did this, I was working on something and I like to watch YouTube, and there's just no new videos out from anyone. So I'm like, I got nothing to watch. So a couple that inspired me to get this channel started was JRose11 and also Scott's Thoughts. So there's some pretty good ones right there. I recommend them, heavily recommend them if you're listening to this. I know I don't have a lot of followers, but if you like Pokemon videos, you'll like those. So that's the first two. Some other ones are just people that are YouTubers that are also, I'd say, like in the same domain I'm in, where they're just kind of getting their channel started. They're in the same, like, trying to get viewers and stuff like that. There's a couple I'll shout out here is Van Man, Eggsceptional, let's see who else, KangaskDan. Gym Leader Matt is another good one. Squidgy is a great one. I really like Squidgy. He's taught me so much about Gen 2, and I can't wait to play Gen 2. Who else do I have on? There's a bunch down there. There's MandJTV. He talks about Pokemon a lot. So doesn't always play Pokemon, but he talks about them a lot. And here's the battle with the hiker. Look how easy this battle is with a 2-shot with every Pokemon. Doesn't get a chance to explode. Very easy battle. And we move on to Erica's gym. Who else am I missing? I said Van Man. There's a couple. There's a bunch down there. I don't remember them all off the top of my head, but there's a bunch down there. And if you like Pokemon games as much as I do, you will emphatically enjoy watching those playthroughs. Okay, so now we're in Erica's gym, and we have a massive advantage against Erica. She is Grass type. We are Fire type. We also have Psychic on our moveset. We also have Body Slam, and we're also 11 levels higher, so that does help as well. But we have a variety of moves that can help us steamroll through her gym, and we're fighting as many battles as we can. One, because we know pretty much everything's going to be a 1 or 2 shot. At the worst, it'll be a 2-shot. Take a drink of my drink. See, like right there, not a 1-shot, but a 2-shot. We do get a level, and we knock out Ivysaur, and we knock out the junior trainer. We're going to heal real quick. We have plenty of antidotes and paralyzed heals. I got them early, and I haven't been poisoned at all. So it's very good to get those things early. You don't have to go run back and heal. They're good time savers in this. So a couple things that do to save time. One is dig. Saves a lot of time. So, for example, if you leave Misty's Town and go to the SSN, and you don't actually heal at the Poke Center, you can dig all the way back after you beat Lieutenant Surge and save yourself like a couple seconds of travel. Okay, you can also do the escape rope out of Bill's house. You can't do that in yellow, but you can do that in red and blue. So that's another example of saving some time. Whenever I beat Giovanni here in a minute, you're going to see me dig out. Some gyms you can dig out of, you can't dig out of this one. But dig is a big way to save some time. Well, if we had teleport, we'd use it too. It does the same thing. But a couple ways to save time. So we're on to Erica. Erica, the gym leader, the grass gym leader. Actually, I love her Pokemon. I love all these Pokemon. They're pretty good. And Victory Bell will be a 2-shot with Psychic. Very good. Tangela, we're going to go for Ember. Victory Bell and Vileplume are both poison types, so Psychic is pretty effective against them. Although Fire type probably seems... we just don't have a good Fire move right now. Ember's 40 base power, and Psychic's 90, so it just makes sense to use Psychic in that scenario. So now we move on to the Rocket Game Corner. A lot of stuff in here is very trivial, and because we're going to spend so much time in Elite Four, I decided to cut that out, save a couple minutes. But basically right now we're fighting who I call Tweedledee and Tweedledum. They are Brock's security guards, and they're kind of buffoons, and they're not very good. Swagmar just steamrolls right through them. Okay? And I should really have put the meme with the sunglasses on, and that'd be Swagmar. But we are steamrolling through him. Psychic will one-shot every one of both of their teams. And now we move on to Giovanni. Giovanni is kind of a joke. His Pokemon are not very tough. Onix sucks anyway, but that's like the worst Pokemon I've played through as so far. By far. Country mile by far. And then KangaskDan is a 2-shot. Guard Spec for the win. And we don't even take any damage. We beat him. And we move on to our 5th rival fight. Our 5th rival fight. This can be tricky, but with a water type, when he has Squirtle, it doesn't get very tricky. Where it gets tricky is when you have any other grass type or fire type, and he has Gyarados, because Gyarados it's a cheater. He's a cheater and gets Gyarados at like level 22 with Hydro Pump, when Gyarados doesn't learn Hydro Pump to like level 48 or something like, or 42 or something like that. But anyway, we've one-shot everything up to this point. Paralyze, War Turtle, Knockout, very easy. It's very trivial. Now this is a gym that I don't usually fight. It's not mandatory. It's optional. So this is I call it Cobra Kai, and the mascot's an Arbok. Basically in here it's just a karate dojo, and what's in here is a bunch of fighting type Pokemon. And the reason why I opted to do this is because we have Psychic will one-shot pretty much everything in here. And it gets us an extra level or 2. It also can get us a Pokemon that can do Strength, which we don't need because we can get Lapras later as well, but it does give us the option to do that. So like I said, everything in here is... oh, it's not a one-shot. I was wrong. Okay, it's a 2-shot. That's okay. It's okay. We're not Psychic type. If it was Psychic type, we would steamroll this, but we just have good special. Most fighting type don't have good special, so Body Slam, even a one-shot, that's just a very powerful move. And like I said, it's not very important to do this, not mandatory, but I am preparing myself for the inevitable, which is you need to have more levels to get by the end of the game, or we're going to spend forever trying to get by certain parts of the game. So I'm already prepping for the end game, and we're actually doing a good time. So we're adding this extra gym, and we're still only at 40 minutes. We've beaten, 4 gyms so far. And this is the 5th gym. We're in Koga's gym. Again, I don't usually fight these extra trainers that we're about to watch right now. I don't usually do it. It's not necessary. But I'm trying to get some extra levels so that later I can use rare candies and we don't have to go grind or anything like that. So I'd rather grind and fight extra trainers than grind and have to go fight wild Pokemon in Victory Road. So, taking a drink of my drink while we're fighting this Hypno. Now, a lot of the trainers in Koga's gym, first off, I believe Koga is trying to start his own circus. He's got a bunch of jugglers and he's got 2 tamers. Okay? I think he's trying to make himself a circus and he's the ringmaster. I really do. I don't know why you wouldn't have... this is a poison gym and you don't have a lot of poison Pokemon in here. Except for this guy. This guy has a poison Pokemon, so I'll give him that. This tamer right here has an Arbok. He also has, I think it's a Sandshrew or Sandslash. So now we learn Fire Punch right here. It has a very short shelf life, but it's a very good move. We fight Sandslash. He has a poison move, so that makes sense. And an Arbok again. So this one makes sense. But the rest of the trainers in here, for the most part, only have Psychic Pokemon. It does not make sense to me. When you come down to Fuchsia City, we go by, I don't know, it's like Bike Hill or whatever. And with that, the problem with that is that we go by a lot of like cue balls and bikers. All of them have poison type Pokemon. I don't get why you don't have any of them incorporated in this gym. Huge oversight. Massive oversight for this gym leader. But nonetheless, gives us a lot of experience, and we have Body Slam to counter the Psychics. And now we're facing Koga and his poison type Pokemon. So usually isn't very tough, and he's not going to be very tough in this playthrough. Why? Because we have Psychic. It's not going to one-shot everything, but it will two-shot everything for sure. Sludge does a decent damage there, but we knock it out. Coughing comes out, it's a one-shot. And then Wheezing is not going to be a one-shot, I don't think. Oh, it is a one-shot. Very good. Very good. Muck has more bulk, that's why. And now we're moving on to our 6th rival fight. Our 6th rival fight is in Silphco, and he comes out with almost a full team, 5 Pokemon. So he starts out with Pidgeot. We don't have any way to set up. Fire Punch will be a 2-shot though, so we get the knockout. He hits with Quick Attack, does a little damage, little chip damage, but Psychic Psychic and Body Slam will combine to do a 2-shot. Executes a 1-shot with Fire Punch. Alakazam comes out. Body Slam should be a 1-shot. It is a 1-shot. And now we have the final Pokemon. Now Blastoise here isn't that scary because he does not have Hydro Pump yet. He just has Water Gun. So we get the knockout there. Very good. This is actually, I think, the weakest team that our rival can have. It's the weakest team I think our rival can have because I think Gyarados is better. He does cheat to get him, but Gyarados is just way better. It's more menacing if you don't knock it out in one shot. So now we're facing Giovanni. So we're down to 2 Pokemon. I'm sorry, I missed the first 2. We knocked them out pretty handily. Missed the first 2. Knocked out Rhyhorn, and now we're going to 2-shot the Nidoqueen. And Guard Spec for the win, as usual. As you see Guard Spec, you know you're pretty much won the battle. We move on to Blaine. Now, I fought every trainer in Blaine's gym, but we're going to move on to Blaine. He comes out with a Growlithe. Now, it's Fire type, we're Fire type, so there's not much difference here. Body Slam's a 2-shot. Body Slam is a 2-shot again, and our attack stat keeps getting lowered by growls. So awesome. That's why I switched to Psychic. Does a little bit more damage, and it doesn't. The growl doesn't affect our special. So we get down to 15 HP, and I'm like, great. I'm gonna have to reset, but RNG on the old Blaine, and we beat Blaine pretty handily, and we move on to Sabrina and her whip. And Sabrina comes out with Kadabra. With Body Slam, we should be able to one-shot every Pokemon in here, except for Alakazam. And actually, we're not gonna use Body Slam on Venomoth. We're gonna use Fire Punch. There you go. So that's 3 one-hit knockouts. We level up to level 52. Very good. Very good. We need to be higher level to make sure we get through some things later. And then Alakazam comes out, and we 2-shot Alakazam. This recovery is not going to be enough. We get the knockout very handily. So we're steamrolling through these gyms late. So now I am going to show this, and you can watch this. It's just showing me fighting all these extra trainers in here because we need as many experience points as we can. So what I do with my rare candies is I wait till I'm like right at the doorstep of the Elite Four, and then I use my rare candies I use up to all but 3. Okay. And the reason why I use all but 3 is because we're going to use Mimic and do the Badge Boost glitch. So if you don't know the Badge Boost glitch, whenever every other gym you get in the game, you get a boost in a stat. With Brock's gym, you get a boost in attack. With Lieutenant Surge's gym, you get a boost in defense. Koga's gym gives you a boost in speed. And I think it's Blaine's gym gives you a boost in special. So whenever you do a stat modifying move, for example, like Swords Dance, or even when you get Leered, it modifies all your stats by 12.5%. Even if you get Leered, it does lower your defense, but it boosts all the other stats by 12.5% every time it happens. So the reason why I save my rare candies is because if that happens in the middle of battle, if you do that and you level up in the middle of battle, it resets your stats. So you could badge boost and outspeed everyone, and then you level up for the last Pokemon, and the last Pokemon will outspeed you and knock you out in one hit. It can happen that way. So the reason why I save the rare candies is I give it to him right before the battle, preventing that level up in the middle of battle. Now there are some Pokemon that don't take a lot of experience to level up, so they can still level up just because they're in that kind of threshold for damage yields or for experience yields. But for the most part, this has been a sound strategy that I've implemented ever since I started watching Pokemon. I've watched other Pokemon YouTubers, and they level up middle battle and cost off battle. Like, I'm just going to preempt this and be prepared. So that's where we're at right now, and we want to get as many levels as we can before we have to use rare candies. Rare candies skip over the experience need, and they're immediate. However, there's actually only 12 in the game. I only use 11 because I don't go to the power plant. So we get 11 we can use. So Or like right now, if we were to use it right now, we're at level 54, we can get all the way up to level 65. Which isn't going to be enough to get some things done, but you'll see. So we're fighting Giovanni, the gym leader. Okay? He's got 5 Pokemon, 5 solid Pokemon to be honest. Okay? And we're going to use Fire Punch on Dugtrio, 1-shot. Psychic on Nidoqueen, not a 1-shot. Nidoqueen's very bulky, so she survives a lot of stuff. She has a pretty high bulk, and then we knock out the Nidoking in 2 shots. Rhyhorn will be a 2-shot. Guard Spec for the win, and we win. We barely take any damage. Swagmar also levels up and gets Flamethrower. We can replace Fire Punch with Flamethrower. Flamethrower is very powerful, one of the most powerful moves in the game. And one thing I like about fire Pokemon is they can sometimes they can blunt force a way through problems. So I didn't save before this, so I'm saving right now. I forgot to save, but I didn't need to save. Here's why, because we're about to beat our rival. So rival comes out, Pidgeot. We have Mimic. We've added Mimic and removed Seismitoss. We don't need it anymore. And we're going to Mimic Agility. Agility is going to do the badge boost. It's going to make us faster in opposition, plus do 12.5 increase on all of our other stats like special, like our defense, and our attack stat. So, Psychic will be a 1-shot in the Rhyhorn, very good. Growlithe will be a 1-shot with Body Slam, very good. Execute comes out, Flamethrower will burn up, fry some eggs for us, very good. Body Slam will be a 1-shot, very good. And Blastoise will be a 3-shot. Hydro Pump is very powerful though, keep that in mind. And instead he goes for Withdrawal, thank goodness, because we could have lost that battle. However, we don't. And we get to the Elite Four. In the Elite Four, we're going to just look at the stats of this Pokemon. So here are the stats we have right now. We're at level 67, okay? So, and we still have 3 rare candies left. So we can use that whenever we need to, but sometimes we'll level up while we're fighting. So I'm going to let that happen. So attack stat is 165. That's our attack stat. Very good attack stat. So Body Slam is full powered. Any physical move we might mimic is full powered. So fantastic that our move is that powerful. Defense is 118. Not the greatest. It's our worst stat by far. But not the worst either. It's pretty good. It's pretty good for this late in the game. It'll suffice. It'll be enough. So our speed is 170. So that's our best stat. So we'll outspeed everything in here. We will outspeed everything in here, and we can also increase that too with the badge boost. And special is 151. We're a fire type Pokemon. We got fire. We got Flamethrower and Psychic. So the fact that our special is this high is fantastic. So we are prepared for everything in here. Like I said, defense is our lowest stat, but we can badge boost and get all these stats a little bit higher as well. And we're gonna see the move set here in 2 seconds. It kind of fades away, so I'm gonna have to pause it right at the right time. And because I forgot to do it, there we go. So Body Slam, Psychic, Flamethrower, Mimic. Body Slam will take care of all the physical moves we have to get done. Psychic will kind of be in between. It's also going to help us like 1-shot everything with two trainers pretty much, or at least have a 2-shot opportunity with Agatha and Bruno. And then Flamethrower is our blunt force move. It's not really effective against a lot of Pokemon in the Elite Four. And then Mimic will help us do the badge boost, or another move we may need in the future. So let's go ahead and check this out. So the first trainer we come across is Agatha. Or I'm sorry, Lorelei. Lorelei comes out, and I really want a 2v1 battle with her and Sabrina. So Flamethrower will 2-shot the Dugong. Dugong does a little bit of damage to us, but it'll 1-shot the Cloyster, very good. And then Slowbro comes out. Slowbro, we're going to Mimic Amnesia. Now what we don't want to happen here is I don't want Slowbro to use like Growl on us, because it can lower our attack stat. And it can lower others, but it can also boost other stats as well, so it's not the end of the world. So 1-shot, Jinx comes out, Body Slam. Okay, I went for Flamethrower, very good. She is Ice type, so it makes sense. Body Slam doesn't do a whole lot. Psychic gets the 1-shot, thank God, because he doesn't really have anything great, but we get the 1-shot nonetheless. And we're gonna full restore. We're not gonna use a rare candy here. We're gonna level up middle of battle, and that's okay because we don't have to badge boost against Bruno. We don't talk about Bruno very much. He's kind of a bum. But we have Psychic, and Psychic will 1-shot his entire team, except for maybe the Machamp. 1-shot there. 1-shot on Hitmonlee, very good. The second Onix comes out. You could do so much better than Onix. Get the knockout, very good. Machamp comes out, and it's like I said, it's not a 1-shot. He just has just enough left to hang on. Okay, well we beat Bruno, and none of this is cut, by the way. I didn't cut any of this footage. Okay, so you're gonna see me healing, and see me giving the rare candy. I honestly didn't need to give a rare candy there, and here's the reason why I didn't need to give a rare candy, is because Agatha, I don't need to use the badge boost on Agatha. So right now I'm saving, And now we're preparing for Agatha. Agatha can be tough. You have the Agatha Lotto. She can confuse you, paralyze you, put you to sleep, poison you, confuse you, all those things. So, yeah, she can confuse you twice. That's what's crazy about her. Okay, so one shot with Psychic. One shot with Psychic. Very good. Haunter is not a one. How's that not a one shot? That's really weird. Okay, so we do get confused here, but we're fighting through the confusion. Except in this part, we hurt ourselves. Bite does a little bit of damage, but we get the knockout again anyway. And we have the final Pokemon, which is Gengar. Psychic is, or confusion is no more. We could survive one more Nightshade. We had 61 power left, and we're at level. I forgot we're level 69. That's very nice. And then we move on to the roadblock that is Lance. So here's where a bulk of this Elite Four. So there are 7 minutes left in this video, or at least in the playthrough that I made. So this is where the tricky part comes. We are level 70. Okay, level 70, and now we have to deal with Lance. So Lance starts out every battle with a Gyarados. Doesn't matter. It's not gonna change it up. He's never gonna change it. So we have to find a way to get through Gyarados without having too much damage gone to be able to beat the rest of the Pokemon. Okay, and I did a bad strategy. So it starts out perfectly. It's exactly how we want it, other than the fact that he gets a Hydro Pump off. So with Dragonair, here's the problem with Dragonair. You have a couple options. You can Mimic Agility. Okay, and then you can Badge Boost, but I wasn't thinking in terms of like what was a great move I could do right now. He also can use Dragon Rage, where it does 45 damage no matter what. Okay, so Body Slam, it's Badge boosted, it's very high attack stat, so Body Slam will do well to the Dragonairs and probably the Dragonite. But Aerodactyl, nope, too high defense, doesn't do as much damage as we'd like, so we get knocked out. So we can go that route. And we can also try to use Flamethrower, but Fire is not very effective against dragons. They're dragons. It's not going to do that much damage. So Flamethrower is not a good option to go there. So we're getting a lot of the good RNG right now. We're just not getting the rest of the good RNG. So two-shotting Gyarados is the dream is to one-shot him. Obviously, you'd like to do that. But Body Slam, paralyzing him, and him not moving next turn, and you can two-shot him is the dream because you have full health going into Dragonair, which you can set up. You can mimic a move. So Hyper Beam will let you one-shot both the Dragonairs, but it doesn't let you one-shot the Aerodactyl. It's a two-shot, and you have to take a whole turn where you can get hit, you can get confused. So there's not a great option here, and I didn't consider this option until the last attempt. And you're gonna keep seeing these options. I didn't cut anything, so keep watching them, and you can see if you can find the strategy here. Comment down below if you see it before I see it. Taking a drink of my drink there. So I'm trying to move around to make sure I don't have any RNG or some RNG manipulation. So sometimes if you just do the same thing over and over again, the game will trigger the same result over and over again. So that's why you'll see me like walk back and forth to change up my steps, because it'll change up things that need to get done. So okay, we're down to a couple minutes left, so I think I'm about to find the solution here. So the solution here is, again, you got to two-shot the Gyarados. If I don't even paralyze them or anything, I just like, you know what, go for broke, YOLO, you only live once. Let's go ahead and just go back to this, and we're waiting for the right. So that was a paralyze, but we didn't get the no damage back part. So we're just gonna keep doing this. I know this is annoying to watch, but this is the struggles you have. This is what we're preparing for with higher levels. We are still at level 70. And we're still preparing for this. Now I do actually have I think I have one more rare candy, and I don't think I've decided to give it to him yet, unless I do it right here. Yeah, I haven't decided yet. So we're down to the last couple minutes of this video. So eventually I decide there is a much better strategy than what I'm doing. Okay, so we get the knockout. Okay, Dragonair comes out. We're gonna mimic. Okay, I don't have that strategy. So here is the strategy that is going to work the best. Hyper Beam will do a decent amount of damage. Okay, it'll one-shot Dragonair. It'll get close to one-shotting the Aerodactyl, but it's just not powerful enough. And then we get confused, and we're gonna hurt ourselves, and we just don't do enough damage that it warrants using Hyper Beam because we can't boost the attack more, right? So I thought to myself, okay, what's going to be the better move here? So I'm going to use my last rare candy. I don't think I saved that though. But what's going to be the better move here? The better move here is to actually badge boost, and I have a move already on my moveset that I could badge boost and use it very well. So paralyzation, paralyze, very good. Get the knockout. Dragonair comes out. Mimic. Have we discovered this strategy yet? Is this the I think this is the one that does it. So we're going to do agility, we're going to badge boost as high as we can, and we're going to use psychic. Nope, we're not going to. Okay, we are. We're going to use psychic. Psychic will one-shot both of them. Oh, I'm sorry, it won't. But it'll get close to one-shotting both of them. Get the knockout, very good. Now we move on to Aerodactyl with a decent amount of health. Not quite a one-shot. It's not there. But we do get a one-shot on the next turn. We're finally at the Dragonite. We get to the Dragonite finally. He does a decent amount of damage there, but thank God Psychic gets the knockout. So that is a strategy. So if I play it through again, that would be my first strategy, not my last strategy. So we are preparing for the champion. The champion is not going to be nearly as hard as Lance. Champion is the last Pokemon, so we can set up as much as possible. And in the last Pokemon's Blastoise, but it always goes for like withdrawal anyway, so it's not the hardest Pokemon to deal with. And here comes our championship fight. Our championship bout. He has a full team. We're going to show him what's up. So we're going to first go for Flamethrower. Flamethrower should be a one-shot. Very good. Next Pokemon is Alakazam. We're going to Mimic Recover on Alakazam. Okay, Psychic ain't going to do too much to me. It actually does a lot. Wow, he must have got a critical hit. Body Slam is a one-shot. So now, that's why I wanted to get Recover. Rhydon, we're going to Recover on Rhydon. Here's why. Rhydon likes to use Tail Whip, which does the badge boost, which increases all of our stats, and he likes to use Leer. So now, we are Tail Whipped and Leered, and our defense stat is lower. That's why Fury Attack's doing so much. But our attack stat, our speed, and everything is so much higher now. And Psychic is it's a two-shot. Body Slam and Psychic combined. Flamethrower should be a one-shot on the Executor, and that brings out Blastoise. Psychic is going to be a two-shot. He goes for Withdrawal. Withdrawal ups his defense, but not his special. And we beat the loser, and we become the champion. So I'm clicking through, trying to get the fastest time possible. After watching both of J-Rose11's videos, I did not think Magmar would end up beating Electabuzz. But after this, after the preparation, so we spent a lot of time on Lance. So we end the game with 1 hour and 5 minutes and 50 seconds. A very, very good time. I'm very ecstatic about that time. Very impressed with that time, and you should be too. I did not think after I already did my prediction video before I watched J-Rose11, or after I've already watched it before. I've already done my prediction video before I watched J-Rose11's video. I mentioned that before. And after watching his, I'm like, damn, we may not beat Electabuzz's time. But we did. We beat it by like 2 minutes. So I know it's not the greatest thing in the world, but we did beat it, and with a little bit of, it goes to show a little bit of preparation can help. So that's why in the future I may redo Electabuzz, because I think Electabuzz can be a little bit faster. All signs show, and this is the Scott's Thoughts one he did years ago, the Versus series, kind of showed the same exact thing, where Electabuzz should be faster, but a little bit of preparedness for this Pokemon, just a little bit more preparedness, and I was able to get this under an hour and 6 minutes, which Electabuzz's time is like 1 hour and 7 minutes and like 40 seconds or something like that. So very good. I was very happy with this playthrough. I was happy with the results, and you should be too. Let me just think in the comment section down below. This is JD. This is JD's Nerdverse. Let me know what you think. The next Pokemon we're doing Monday, you're gonna see a prediction video for Pinsir, the Stag Beetle Pokemon. Very high attack, very high defense, decent speed. Okay, the same exact health stat, 65, that everyone has at this stage of the game, and kind of a low special. So that's gonna be our downside, and a very unique move set. And tune in Monday for the prediction, and then next Friday will be a playthrough. Thank you everyone for watching. Have a good one, and see you.